Hi guys, happy Wednesday. This is a tutorial on how to decoupage on top of a mirror instead of doing a reverse decoupage on the back side of the mirror itself. I recycled this pretty little wooden mirror from Goodwill. I fell in love with it. It looks really old. The frame itself looks like it's solid wood. And actually, I love it just the way it is. I'm not going to paint it or do anything with it except add a scripture to the frame. When I saw it, I knew exactly what paper I wanted to use. I bought this not too long ago from Micah Daughters. It's an A4 size rice paper, and it's called Woman Smelling Roses. Normally, I believe this one's made in Italy, but don't let that price scare you. I think I paid less than $4 for this rice paper. It's 11.69 by 8.27, or 8.5 by 11. It's a little taller and narrower than the US letter size. And you see that it's going to fit this mirror inlay almost perfectly. I will have to do a little bit of painting around the paper once it's applied to the mirror to make it look like it's just all one picture. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a paintbrush, dabbing it in some water. You can also use a water pen. I think you can buy them from Amazon or any hobby store. And I'm wetting down the edges so that I can tear that white frame off. And you don't want a perfect line here. If you did, you could just cut that paper off, but you want an irregular border around this picture because it will be easier to hide that edge if it's feathered and irregular than it would be if it was just a straight line cut. Now this paper, I don't know if you've ever worked with rice paper. It's a little different than tissue paper. It's sturdier, number one. And it will take a little more water on the paper to get it where you can tear it off easily. But it's not hard. You just add a little bit more water and then start peeling that edge off. And you can see I'm making it very irregular there. That's the way I want it. And you're going to do that around the entire border of your image. Just about to the edge of it here, or the end of what I'm going to be tearing off. You can see that the border, the white border, is completely gone now, and I'm left with just this image that's got a very irregular and wispy edge to it. Now I'm going to see how it fits on my mirror. It's a little taller than I wanted, and that's okay because I think I can push some of that paper up underneath the frame where the frame meets the mirror itself. But it's just a little bit longer than I wanted it because one side won't push up underneath that frame. Started to do the top where the tree was and decided I didn't want to cut any of that part off, so I'm going to remove a little excess from the bottom of my picture. Just again, I'm applying some water to the paintbrush, and then we're just going to gently tear off a little extra off that picture there so that it'll fit better up underneath the mirror and the frame. or underneath the frame next to the mirror. There we go, that's better. And you can see that I have some mirror showing on each side and just maybe a little bit at the very top and bottom. But that's okay, we're going to try and match that rice paper with some paint. You could leave it like that if you don't mind the mirror showing. It's just pretty that way too. I kind of wanted to not see the mirror this time though. I'm going to try and push myself and try to paint around it so that it matches that rice paper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bonding primer. It's a great pen art product. I'm going to put that on the mirror itself. You're going to want to use this on anytime you're painting over glass or metal or anything that you're afraid that, you know, the paint might just kind of peel off. This stuff is great. I've had this bottle opened up a while, so it's a little thick, but it's okay. It's basically a primer, and it looks like Elmer's glue. And it'll dry white. It won't dry clear, it'll dry white. I'm going to go ahead and cover the entire mirror. As you saw, that rice paper doesn't go all the way out to the edges, but I'm going to be painting that area, so I'm going to prime the entire surface of the project. We'll dry that off with my heat gun. It won't take very long to dry. It dries pretty quickly. Again, make sure your heat gun's not turned up too high. It will bubble up your product there on the mirror. Keep your heat gun moving. If you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. They work great. Use what you have. You just want to make sure that it's good and dry before you put your next coat on. And I'm putting 2 coats down on this. Now, if you are smart, you're going to prepare your surfaces a day in advance and let this sit overnight to cure. I didn't. It's okay, it'll work out all right. I'm just going to let I'm actually going to let the project sit a while to make sure everything is dried and cured when I'm finished. But if you can, put your primer on day 1, let it sit overnight. What I want to do is get to a point where I have a lot of my surfaces already primed and they're just waiting for me to go and work on. That way that I'm not having to let the bonding primer dry overnight before I go on. I can just pick up a piece and start working on it. That's my goal. I'm not there yet. And here what I'm doing, I'm putting just down over that primer, I'm putting down just an cheap acrylic white paint. This is not going to show, so it doesn't have to be an expensive paint. It can be chalk paint, it can be acrylic. I just happen to have the acrylic out, so that's what I'm using. Anytime you're decoupaging, you want to put a light color underneath your rice paper. It just makes the image and the colors pop. You don't have to. I've done decoupaging without adding the white paint underneath or ivory paint, whatever color you choose to use. It just needs to be light. And it works. It's pretty. but the colors are so much more vibrant if you do add that white paint underneath your rice paper. Once you get that on there, just dry it really well. Again, if you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. Or if you have the time, let it sit there and dry for an hour or two. Go do some laundry, put supper on, pick up a kid, just let it dry. But don't go on to the next part of your project until it's dry. There's no right or wrong way here. It shouldn't take long to dry. It's a thin coat of white paint. If you can rub your hand across it and nothing comes off on your hand or anything like that, it's dry enough. And you can see that I'm getting paint around the edge of that inside frame. I'm not too concerned because I can touch all that up. I'm going to be painting near it. You could tape it if you wanted to, if you wanted to keep it pristine, but I'm not really that particular about it. I want it to look old and kind of rustic, so I'm going to be touching it up with some brown paint, but not a solid color there. I want it to look old and kind of used. Now we go to the decoupage part, and I finally got Pentart's decoupage and varnish in the matte. You can use Mod Podge if that's all you have. It works. But there's something about this Pentart product. It's so creamy and smooth. It just goes down on your surfaces so easy and pristine. I don't really worry about any wrinkling or bumpiness. It's just so smooth as it goes down on your surface. Whether you're using a mirror like this, a piece of wood, or a metal tray, it's just a really, really good product, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Now, as you start to decoupage your piece down onto your surface, you're going to want to work in sections. So try to get it pretty much where you want it before you start. You do have a little bit of wiggle room once you've started putting your paper down onto the decoupage medium, but get it as close to where you want it as possible so you're not having to lift and put back down, lift and put back down. And then just do a section at a time. You don't want to put decoupage medium over the entire section and then lay your piece down at once, because if it is crooked, it's a lot easier to move a little bit of that paper than it is the whole sheet. And this is just a squeegee that I've gotten from Decoupage Queen. It's a great product. It's got kind of a foam on one side and then it's plastic on the other. And so I can use that plastic to really push that paper up underneath the frame there. It's a great little tool to have. If you don't have it, you can use your fingers. You can use a little rubber squeegee plaster pusher thing if you want to. But it's another product that I truly love. Now you notice that as I'm moving to the next section of the paper, I've pulled it up just a little bit so where that glue is exposed where I stopped. That way you make sure there's not a seam there. There's not a seam where there's glue, no glue, glue. There's just glue all the way down your project. Again, I'm working in sections. You want to put enough on that you're not sloppy, but you want it. You want a nice amount there on your mirror or whatever you're using as a canvas there. Again, we're just pushing that down a section at a time. And I'm being gentle here. I'm not trying to bully that paper down onto the surface. I just gently use that squeegee to move it down where I want it. Again, move that paper up just a little bit above where you stopped. And then continue down. I hope everybody's having a slower, calmer January after the months previous of all the holiday hustle and bustle. Although I do love the holidays, it's always nice to slow down and enjoy these short days and long nights of winter. It seems to me the last 3 months of the years go by so fast, and you're just putting so much into that little 3-month period or 2.5 months between Halloween and New Year's Day. It's just nice to take a breath. After we've got our paper down, we're going to dry that picture with the wet glue underneath. It won't take long. And again, use a hairdryer if you have one. If you don't have either, let it sit for an hour or so. Come back to it and then go on to the next step. Again, make sure your heat gun, if that's what you're using, is not too hot. Or even your hairdryer, if you have it on the high setting, they can get pretty hot too. We don't want to set anything on fire here. We just want it to dry. So that was quickly. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our decoupage medium and go over the top of this. This will reinforce that glue in there. It'll make sure that it's sticking. It's also a varnish. There's a varnish built into this Pentart product. So it'll give it, and I've chosen a matte finish. I just like it. I'm going to put some a shiny varnish at the end, but for this I just wanted to use a matte finish. It'll also make sure all those wispy little ends are glued down nicely. Put enough product on there so that your paintbrush is gliding easily over the surface. If you feel it catching, you're taking product off and not putting it on, so just put some more product on your brush or pour a little bit onto your picture itself and then move it across your surface. And as you go, and this may be just me only, I have to move the project around a little bit because I can miss spaces. I can think I've got the entire piece covered and there's a little spot there that I've missed, or there's a little space on the edge that I don't have any product on. So just kind of move that product or that project around underneath your light to make sure that you've got the entire surface covered. And then again, we're going to dry this or let it dry on its own. It doesn't take long for this to dry with the heat gun or the hair dryer. It dries pretty quickly. You can rub your hand across it and nothing sticks to you. It's dry, or at least dry enough to go on to the next part. Make sure you put your lids on good. You could put a piece of plastic wrap up underneath that on that jar, and then put the lid on. That will help it keep air out too. But here's our picture so far, and you can see all the little places that we need to fill in with some paint. But that's the matte finish. It's pretty by itself. It really, I mean, if you didn't want it shiny, it would be beautiful with just the matte finish. Now here's the part that I'm challenging myself, because there are a lot of colors in here, and I'm going to have to match a wall, a pot, a flower, a vine, that dark tree at the top. It's such a dark green, it almost looks black. So, I mean, there's a lot of colors that I don't have that I'm going to have to try to take what I have and mix. I normally love using just the chalk paints, but I couldn't find every color in the chalk paint. I'd have to buy it at the whole store anyway, even if I did. So I am using some acrylics. They come in a lot more colors than the chalk paints. So I'll be using a combination of acrylic and chalk paint on this. And I'm using my little sponge dabber. I love using those to paint around the rice paper, because it gives it a texture so that you're hiding that seam a lot easier than if you just use a paintbrush and painted in swipes across there. And I'm going to have to mix some colors. I am using a paintbrush here. I'm trying to get into the edges a little bit, but I'm going to use a sweeping motion along that edge, but then I'm going to dab at it too, so that it's not a flat looking paint swipe. Now I'm trying to find here a color that'll make that green a little bit darker. That's a dark brown. I don't think it's dark enough, but we're gonna look and see. Yeah, that's really like Cheryl. I'm gonna end up using a darker color, but that's okay. The trees can have different colors of green in them. Don't be afraid to play here, because you can always paint over something if you get it the wrong color. You can see me now going over. I think I'm having to go get some black paint. I'm going to have to try to add some black into that green. I mean, it's really dark. Have you ever seen a green so dark it almost looks black? Well, that's what that is. And while I'm looking for some black paint, here I come. I think I got some black, some burnt umber. Burnt umber is a really cool color. You can use it if you're trying to make like the color chocolate from an Oreo cookie or ice cream sandwich. It's a good color to use. It's called that burnt umber. It's a really, really deep, rich dark brown. I'm having to wipe that up because I did not shake my bottle before I tried pouring it out. Shake your bottles. All the oils and things separate that are in the pan or water. In this case, it's probably water-based, but all those things separate, and so you will not get your true color. You can see here I'm going to add a little bit of black. You're basically playing with your paint right now because you're just trying to find something that's really close to what you're trying to match there. And you may have to mix 3 or 4 different colors to get it. And then layer a color on top of another color. I think it's fun. It might stress other people out, but if you want to practice blending colors before you do something on a project that you really want to keep or want to sell, you can get some napkins, get get a piece of board and decoupage over that, and then try to match the colors around the board. Get a piece of wood for the wood pile. Use something that you don't care if you mess up, and then practice, play. You'd be surprised what you can do, especially when you pray and ask God to show you. I have to do it all the time. I have to say, okay, Lord, I need help matching this color. And I mean, I get really, really, really close sometimes after I've prayed. There are times I may not have the proper colors to mix with, so I sometimes have to make the picture match what paint I have. But gosh, it's fun trying to figure it all out. And I don't work on the paint from like one corner all the way around the picture. I'll be working on this tree for a while, then I'll look at it and I'll see, oh, there's that rose, and I'll get in my head how to do that rose, so I'll do the rose part. I'll finish the rose, and then I'll say, oh, there's that pot over there. Let me work on that pot, because those are things that I pretty much have to get on there. It's not just background, it's an actual thing that I'm trying to paint. And I'm not an artist that is good at drawing things, so I have to, if I see it, that's when I do it. Y'all, you saw me wiping that paintbrush off. I am so sloppy when it comes to painting. My paintbrushes are always rolling into my paints, but oh well. That's why I keep wet wipes on the table with me. Remember too that your paint's going to look different once it's dry. That's why I always dry the paint after I'm finished painting something. I like to dry it first before I put the crackle finish, if I'm going to do a crackle finish, or the varnish, or whatever. I like to make sure that paint is all dry, and then look at it to make sure I don't need to change color or add something. And you'll think you've covered the entire surface, and once it's dry, you'll see that there's bleed through from the canvas up underneath, or the paint up underneath. I just love this image on this rice paper. I don't know if you can tell from here, but the color of the roses with the different pinks and a little bit of red matches her skin tone almost exactly. It's just so pretty. You can see I'll have to work some paint up underneath the inside frame up there where the frame meets the picture, but that's okay. Like I said, if I see something and I think, oh, I know how to do that right now, that's when I'll do that. So I don't try to do the entire circumference at once. I'll do it in sections. As you're taking your little sponge, dab it into your paint and kind of dab some of the paint off of the brush so that you're not coming on there with like a big glob of paint. I started out with a light green at the bottom, and I'm adding some darker greens on top. And I'm extending that branch out because it stops there at the end of that paper. But I want it to go out further where I'm actually painting the background, kind of extending the picture so that it looks more natural. So I'm putting branches where there were none. You can see that I'm taking my brush and I'm just making tiny little dabs or short strokes. It's not like I'm painting the outside of a house where it's one large run of color. It's more like a blending of colors. So you had to take it down there toward the bottom of the frame. I basically just added a little bit of trunk to that branch, or the thicker part of branch. It's not really a trunk. It's just adding more to that branch so that it doesn't just stop abruptly there at the end of my paper. And I encourage you to take something like an old board, get some decoupage paper, rice paper, and then play at blending your colors, trying to match them. You will be surprised that you can take colors. If you don't have one, you can just mix some other colors in it until you get to the color that you need. That looks like an Italian villa to me, with the tall roofs on the house and trees with the vines and the roses, terracotta pot. It just looks like some place in Italy to me. Or it could be anywhere, I guess, but it has a European feel to me. And I love how the frame itself has been, some of the paint's kind of worn off there. It looks old. I can't remember what I saw next that I wanted to paint, but oh, I guess it's that little, there's a little bit of pinkish, peachy color there in her dress there at the bottom left. I don't have that color, so I'm going to take some pinks and add some colors to it, see if I can come up with something close. This painting around your picture will take the longest amount of time to do, but just don't rush yourself. Just let it take the time it takes and then just enjoy it. It's very calming to sit there and paint something, or at least it is for me. So what I've got here is I've got some light pink, a darker pink, and a little bit of red. Let's see what I do here. Can't remember if I'm working on the rose or if I'm working on that little piece in her gown there, but we'll see. Okay, it's her robe. As you sit there and look at it, you begin to see, okay, I can use this color there and add this color to that. Don't put yourself in a box of trying to just paint around the whole picture all at once. Like I said before, paint what you see. When you see it, paint it. I started there at that bottom corner because that's the part I could see how to paint first. In my mind's eye, I could see how to paint that first. Actually, I started in the top corner because I could see, but you know what I mean. You look at it and it'll tell you, your brain will tell you how to paint it and when to paint it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but when you see it, paint it. Now I'm working on the rose. It was just a little bitty piece of that rose on the paper, and I want to extend it out toward the edge of my canvas, which is my mirror. But you can see those roses, they're not all just one color pink. There's a little blush pink in there, and then a little bright pink, and even just a tiny bit of red in those highlighted roses. And for this, I am having to use mostly acrylic for the bright colors. I did use the ballet slipper chalk paint from Waverly for the pink, the first light pink, but the others are acrylic paints. It's not like we're doing oil painting or watercolor. I'm going to be putting a fine line crackle on this with some antiquing paste, so it's going to change the way all those paints look at the finished product anyway, but just using what I have. Moving up the wall here. That little brush that I'm using there with a little sponge on the end of it's not letting me get right up to the crack in that inner frame, so I'm going to have to use a paintbrush, but again, kind of dabbing the color in there. What is that called? Stippling, I think. It looks like now that I'm painting in some of those leaves, or just the whisper of them. It's not very defined, it's just more like an impression of a leaf there in the painting. But you could paint everything green right there, or just one color green, but it makes it flat looking to me if you're not adding some different tones there, different greens, dark on the light, light on the dark. It gives it dimension. And you can take your little sponge brush there and you're just going to blend all those colors in somewhat. Sorry about the camera angle. I'm working on the bottom. As your paint dries, you'll be able to see when you need to put more color somewhere, and that's what I'm doing right down there on the bottom. And then I'm moving along the bottom of her robe there. It's kind of it's somewhere between green, turquoise, peacock color blue, and then some dark, really almost black creases. finally decided I'd let you see what I'm doing there. What I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of putting some base color down. That's kind of a blue-green. Her robe looks almost like peacock colors. And the little gold, yellow designs on her robe do look like a peacock feather. So if you had peacock colors like teal greens and peacock blue, there actually is something called a peacock blue, light greens, light blues. The top of her robe goes from a light blue, it's darker teal colored, and there's even some darker teals in there with some blues, and even where it's showing her creases, it's almost a black color. So I'm going to have to take those creases and bring them and draw them in all the way down to the bottom of my frame there. I'm just adding some more peacock feathers there. At least I think that's what they are. That's what they look like to me. You might see something different. I'm taking a little bit of yellow and green, and I'm just kind of adding some more of those to extend that picture. You could take some, Pentart has this product called metal pigment, and they have a really pretty antique gold or rose gold. I can't remember all the colors, but you mix it with some pigment things, another Pentart product, and it makes the most beautiful metallics. You could take that. I didn't do it here, but you could, and you could outline each one of those little peacock feathers with that. That would be pretty too. Now it looks like I'm going to move to the other side. You can see where this terracotta pot is about a third of the way up. I'm going to have to draw more of that into the picture up to the frame. I don't want it cut off. I don't want to make just a brown wall there that looks like somebody put half a pot up on a pedestal. I want it to extend out to the end of my canvas, which this again is my mirror. But I want it to go all the way to the inside frame. And I'm going to have to play with some colors here. I've got some orange and some yellow. I think I've got some terracotta and some red. Start out with that brownish. It's not really a terracotta color. It's, I don't know, you see them on some stucco pots. They're kind of that brownish color. Anyway, that's what I'm using there to start with a base of color. I'm going to add that line there that's showing the rim going across the top there to make that rim. Somebody else did all the hard work actually painting this picture. I'm grateful because I don't think I'm that good of an artist, but I'm just kind of adding to what they already did. And you're going to have to just play with it until it looks like a pot with a rim. Add color here and there. how I'm blending in the colors with my paintbrush? I'm dabbing it instead of doing a stroke. I'm dabbing at it. And those lines that I'm putting in, they're not just a definite line there. They're just kind of wispy little strokes where I'm adding that around. You can see I'm getting paint all around the frame, the inside frame, but that's okay. I'm going to take some brown at the end and cover all that up. You could tape it. Probably would have been the smart thing to do. This side I'm using that hazelnut color. I believe that's a chalk paint from Waverly. I believe the color is actually hazelnut. Whereas the other side it was more greens because of that wall that has the vines growing up it. This side is more of the building itself. It's, what is that, stucco they use on those buildings? I've got a cut on my finger. That's why I have that wrapped like that. Several reasons. I don't want it to bleed on my painting, but also I don't want to get paint in that cut because it would burn like the dickens. Here I'm adding just a little bit of definition to the wall. I'm actually painting on the rice paper too. I want there to be I want you to be able to see that that's actually, it looks like a fireplace column because of what's on top there. Could be wrong. It's just what it looks like to me, but I do want it to have, I want it to have some definition. I want you to be able to see there's two different parts of that building there. To get into the edges there that go up underneath the frame. I really don't want to see any white. It's like I'm opening a new bottle of paint. Blue it looks like. Make sure you check your paints before you try to pour them out on the paper because we'll make a mess. You'll be sorry. I've done it. I probably have 20 different colors laid out here. I can't see it from the way I'm looking at it, but there must have been a blue, some type of blue shadowing up there that I'm trying to match. And then I'm taking some of this darker blue and I'm adding it to what I started down there on that base color. I'm trying to match that teal peacock color. You see me going back from one section to another, it's because, like I told you, if I paint it when I see what to do. I just noticed with that color, it goes well with the frame color. It's in the same family of color there. Right there at the top, beneath the curve, where there's a blank space, I'll be putting a scripture. I'm just waiting for my stencil to come in. It should be here by Friday. I'll get that on, take another picture, then I'll get this posted in my Etsy shop. I don't know if you can hear my dogs in the background. They probably saw a bird fly into our airspace. For some reason, they think they need to bark at it. You can see, don't be afraid to put a little bit of paint on the rice paper itself if you need to. Just blending in some colors here. I put the blue down, but I don't want it to look like I've just painted blue lines on the surface of that.
Mommy! Mommy! Mama! Mama!
That was my phone ringing. I don't know if you heard that. Grandson calling. Having to extend that little roof there. looks like a half wall in a garden that has some of that red tile on top of it to match the tile on the roof of the home. And it needed to be extended to the edge like the other pieces did. You can see some sky there in between the branches of the tree. There at the top of that little wall. I'm just gonna leave that like it is. I'm not gonna mess with it. Gosh, we're getting close here to getting it done. At least the paint part. You know, there's nothing that says you have to finish painting this all in one sitting either. If you're kind of stuck and you're not quite sure how to achieve a look, or you need to think on some paint colors, just stop for a while, walk away, do something else, and come back to it. I do that a lot of times when I'm working on jigsaw puzzles. I'll get to where I can't see the shapes anymore, so I'll walk away, and when I come back I'll look at it a different way. Do the same thing when you're painting. You get stuck, walk away, come back, and be surprised. You'll find it. You'll find your answer. Now I'm kind of extending. To me, that looks like a chimney. I don't know. That's to me. I'm extending that chimney. We're going to call it a chimney. I'm extending that chimney there at the top of that column or smokestack to the edge of my mirror up to the inside corner. I want everything to go all the way to the end of my canvas or mirror or board, whatever you're working on. I'm just adding a little bit of definition there. It's all kind of really subtle. You don't see like a bold flat line going across the surface. You just see a subtle shading effect. That's what I like. If y'all are watching on YouTube, I'm really new to the channel, and I'd appreciate if you like watching me paint, like learning how to do decoupage or whatever it is I'm doing that week. Please give me a like. There's a thing called hype now. Share the video. It would really help me grow my audience, and I appreciate it so much. Now you're looking at pretty much, it's pretty much finished with the painting part of the project. As you can tell, I've got paint there around the inside of the frame, but I'll fix that, like I said. Well, I'm not quite finished. I see some areas that I should be working on. Hopefully I videotaped it. I did. I need to work on her robe. Y'all dizzy yet? Sorry. I'm also getting used to working with cameras. I'm 66 years old and this is all new to me. Looks like I'm just cleaning up the edges there around the frame. Do yourself a favor, just put a little bit of paint out at a time. You'd be surprised you don't need as much as you think you're gonna need, and then you're not wait. You can always add more. It's hard to put it back in the bottle. And I'm just using I go to Walmart and get these little journals. Well, they look like little journals, but they're called it's what people actually paint on to make pictures, and I use it to mix my paints with. You could use a piece of cardboard. You just want it thick enough so that the paint's not seeping through your paper. Trying to make sure that no white is showing there at the edge. And y'all, I use the same brush for all kinds of colors. I'll just dab it till a lot of the paint's off the brush and just put another color on. Right now I'm covering up the frame, it looks like. I don't want it to be perfect. Like I said, I like the old look of it. So if there's a little smudge of something here or there, I'm okay with that. You can, I don't know if you can tell, but that looks like that was just wood with some type of stain on it. That looked like it was like a brown paint. Of course, it could have been brown and stained, but it looks like it was stained instead of just painted. So it's not uniform in color, and I kind of want to keep that look. I like it. Just taking a wet wipe there and rubbing it off the top of my frame. If you're watching me on Facebook, Facebook won't keep this up longer than around 30 days, I believe. I don't know if they've changed that policy, but I don't think so. If you want to keep this video, make sure that you download it, but not just to your Facebook account. Make sure that you're downloading it to your PC or your laptop, because they will, after a very short period, erase your video and you won't be able to get back to it. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, it's pretty much there. I don't believe they're erasing anything after 30 days, at least not now. See how I'm taking paint off the brush and adding different color? I'm just using the same brush. Now I'm extending that dark crease in her robe down toward the frame, because I didn't like the way it just abruptly stopped there. There, you can see how I just moved that down toward the edge of the frame there. Now we finished with the paint part of the project. Before I did this fine line crackle, I did take my heat gun and make sure all the paint was dry, because once I start laying this down, I don't want to be moving wet paint around. So make sure your paint is dry before you start this part. And this is a Pentart's fine line crackle. It comes in two parts. This first part, component number 1, it looks like glue. It has about the same consistency of like an Elmer's glue. It goes on with this white, opaque looking look, but once it is dry, it dries clear. And you have to do this part to achieve crackle. You have to do both parts. This is a 2-part one. Now they do make crackle products that are just 1 part. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking. But they're just 1 part. This particular one is a 2-part process. And it's my absolute favorite. I just love it. You can see that I probably should have used a bigger brush. You want this to go down pretty liberally. You don't want your paintbrush dragging. Like I said, if it's dragging, you're removing product, not adding it. So I just poured some in the middle and I'm putting it on my image. You want to make sure that you're not letting it dry, then going back over it, because it will produce a bubbling look. You want to make sure you do everything quickly so that it doesn't dry and you're not going back over dry product with your brush, because it will look different. It'll cause texture that you might not want there. It will dry clear and you'll have trouble seeing your unwanted texture, but if I want texture on something, I want there because I put it there, not because I made a mistake. Yeah, use a bigger brush. Use a bigger brush on your project so that you're able to get more product down at once. Now this is something that you can let sit overnight and dry. You want to make sure that this product number 1 is completely dry before you move on to the next component 2. It will level out as it dries. I think that's why it's probably better to let it dry naturally. It does give it time to level out somewhat. Now it looks like you've completely covered your image in Elmer's glue. Fear not, it does dry clear. I'm going to use a heat gun on here to dry it quicker so that we can get the video done, but if you have time, let this part dry overnight. At least 8 hours, but overnight will be better. You won't see any crackles yet because we haven't put part 2 down, but you will see the image become clearer. You want to make sure that there's no cloudiness at all when you go to put your component 2 down. I did this. I don't recommend doing this. I kind of wish I hadn't, because I'm trying to get it dry quickly. And you'll see here, right there, I caused some texture to happen. It's not the end of the world. It is going to look like a vintage old world piece. But if you didn't want texture, too bad you got it. So try not to go over your part 1 after you started drying it. You can see I'm trying to fix it here by adding a little more product. It does help, but I should have just left it alone till it was dry. Then if I needed to add it to some spaces, I could add it then. But yeah, once you started drying it, just keep drying it. If you need to cover up a spot, do so after that has dried. You won't be moving around your wet product and taking it off and causing texture where you don't want it. You can see how it's starting to turn from opaque to clear. Also, if your heat gun is too hot, it will bubble up and cause texture too, so just keep an eye on that. Keep it moving. Keep your hairdryer moving. Okay, now we're at the part where the magic happens. We're going to actually make the crackle. This is component 2 of the 2-component process for fine line crackle. It's Pentart's number 2. And you can see it doesn't look like Elmer's glue. It won't go down opaque and then dry to something clear. It's going to go on clear and dry clear. But this is what makes the crackle happen. And again, you're going to apply a liberal amount. You don't want it running off your board, but you don't want it dragging. You don't want your brush dragging across your surface. Now, in my opinion, each time I do this, the crackle has turned out a little different. I've always loved the way it's turned out. Sometimes I get more crackle than others. Now, I don't know if that's the way I'm applying it. Like, should I apply more base number 1 and less number 2, less number 1, more number 2? I think it depends a lot on the surfaces that you're applying it to, and it may have something to do with how much product you're putting on. My suggestion to you is to just try it on different applications. Try it on a board and say, okay, put a lot of component 1 on and a little bit of component 2. See if it makes a difference in your crackle, or vice versa. Compare one surface to another. See if it makes a difference. I don't mind that each piece looks a little different. To me, that's what makes each piece unique, and I love it. So I've always been happy with the way each product has turned out with Pen Art's Fun Line Crackle products. On this one, when you're putting it on, move it around under your light to make sure you're not missing any spaces or places, little bits and pieces, because if you don't have component 2 on there, you won't have a crackle. So just make sure that you've got good coverage on your piece here. Wherever you want crackle, make sure that it has that component 2 on there. And then you're going to let it dry. I don't think it takes as long to let this part dry as it did component 1, but it takes a little while. You can leave it overnight, but this is what happens when it's dry. You can see the crackle there happening. Sorry about that glare. I'm still learning how to use lights, but you can see that it's got some nice crackle finished there. Now once it's dried and you've got your crackle, you're going to apply whatever it is you want to use to color those cracks with. You can use mica. I'm using Pen Art's Antique Paste in the color Umber. I've used mica powders, I've used the metal pigments, I've used the antique paste. I have not used the antique gel yet, but I need to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be beautiful finished product with that as well. But you're going to want to wear gloves because it is messy, and this one does have an odor to it, so if you're sensitive to odors, open up a window, make sure you're in a ventilated area. But you're going to put your gloves on, and you're going to put some paste on your fingertips and get it move it around, get it kind of working a little creamy. See, it's almost like a stain, so it probably would stain your fingers if you didn't wear gloves. And then you're just going to start rubbing it into those lovely cracks you've just spent so much time making. Now, I haven't used this product a lot. I don't know if you leave that on there a while, if it would actually give you more of an antique appearance on the whole product, or just if it would all wipe off. But I like to put it on and then wipe it off so that I'm only getting that antique look in the cracks. Now, like I said, you could try this, leaving it on, to see if it makes a difference, to see if it gives it a more aged look. I don't know. You might get that more with the antique gel. I'll have to let you know because I haven't used the gel before. But I really want it just in the cracks at this point. Now, if you like more grunge, if you want it to look more antique, leave it on longer, see if it makes a difference. But do you see there the difference between where I have the paste and where I don't? On this other arm, I haven't put it on there yet. So pretty, so pretty. I just love this fine line crackle. Now you're just going to keep adding that over your piece there. You won't be able to see it a whole lot up there in that dark tree, but wherever there's a lighter color, it really picks up that paste nicely. And like I said, you can use mica powders. They work pretty too. Just depending on the look you're going for. There's not a right or wrong. It's completely up to you. Pin Art does sell this product in different colors other than the umber. The umber looks the most antique in my opinion. I am not an expert, so if you like using another color, by all means do so. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. This is your project. It's your art. It's going to reflect what you like and not what somebody else might like. No right, no wrong. I'm just kind of playing with it here to see if I can get a more antique-y look there, vintage look. I'm even applying a little bit to the inside frame itself. It'll cover up some of those paint splashes that I got there. And you're going to take a soft rag. You can see I've used this one to do this before. And you're going to rub away what you don't want left on your project. So pretty. Now at this point, I think I've told you guys before, but I'm going to say it every time because I don't want someone to get to this point in their project and then ruin it. No water-based products. None. Once you get those fine line crackle component 1 and 2 on, and you get your color that you want in the cracks, no water-based top coats ever at all. It will completely ruin your entire piece. It'll get cloudy and nasty, and it'll make you cry. Pin Art makes a varnish, a solvent-based varnish that I'm going to be putting on mine. What I'm using right now is glossy. I believe they do make a matte, but it's not water-based. Keep all water-based products away from your product, or from your piece completely. Just move them away from the table. You can see there underneath the light that I'm going to be using Pin Art varnish in the gloss. I promised to try something in matte. I really want to see what that looks like. I like to kind of make sure, if I was using mica paste powders, I wouldn't worry too much, but I kind of want to make sure that antiquing paste is where I want it, and then wiped off where I don't want it. So that was the that was the Pin Art varnish in the gloss. And like with the other products, you want enough on your paintbrush so that you're not grabbing, and you want to make sure that you get good coverage and don't miss any spots. Now I use one brush for my varnish over and over again. It's a special brush that never gets dipped in water. It's always clean with a solvent so that it just never gets water on it. And it's my varnish brush. And I'll show you how to clean it here in a second so that you can just keep reusing it. I would recommend making sure it's a different color, or marking it somewhere, or just keeping it in a box with your varnish so that that's your varnish brush. You don't use it for anything else. Again, take your piece and move it around in the light so that you can make sure you haven't missed any spots. And this dries pretty quickly too. I'm always amazed at how quickly this dries, especially if you're using a heat gun or hair dryer. can see I'm finding little bitty spaces that need some varnish. Move your head around, move it around in the light, and you'll be able to see spaces if it's missing any varnish, because it won't be as shiny as the other places on your project. Now, once this varnish dries, this piece is protected. You can't rub anything off. It's there and for another 100 years probably, until it really is an antique. And basically that's it. Your project is done. Once it's dry, you can hang it up, sell it. This is how you're going to clean this, your solvent, your varnish brush with this Pentart solvent. No water. If you put it in water, throw it away and get a new brush. This stuff goes a long way. It looks like a small jar, but a little goes a long way. And what you do is you just take your brush and you stick it inside the jar and you move it around in there, dabbing it and swirling it around. You want that solvent to dissolve the varnish on your brush. And just take a paper towel and dry it off. Rub it around on that paper towel, so make sure you get everything off of there. Take a look at your brush. If you still see some shiny bits, usually I'll have some shiny bits up around the metal part of the brush. Just dip it back into your solvent and clean it off again. And then you're done. Put that brush with your varnishes and with your solvent, and that way that's your varnish brush. You can have more than one, but keep them separate from your other brushes. Now that's it. If you go to use your brush again on your next project and it's a little stiff, to stick it down in that solvent and stick it in the solvent, swish it around, and dry it off again with your paper towel. But that's it. Your piece is complete. And I just love how she turned out. If you guys have any questions about what products I used or how I did something, leave your questions in the comments. I will look at them, I promise, and I will answer your questions. But I hope you give this a try. I think you'll be very surprised in what you're able to do. And here she is. She's just waiting for her scripture stencil at the top. Bye, y'all.